Let me ask you something. How many dreams are sitting in the graveyard of not yet? How many businesses were never launched? How many books were never written? How many lives were never fully lived? All because someone was waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for more money. Waiting for more experience. Waiting to feel ready. And the sad truth is, that moment never came. It never comes. Because here's what nobody tells you. You will never feel ready. And that's exactly the point. We live in a world that has conditioned us to prepare endlessly before we act. Go to school, get the degree, build the credentials, take the course, do the research, make the plan, and then, maybe, if everything lines up perfectly, you can begin. We've been taught that preparation is the gateway to action. But somewhere along the way, preparation became a substitute for action. It became the thing we hide behind when fear whispers in our ear, "You're not good enough yet." Think about every major thing you've been putting off. Starting that business, going back to school, having that difficult conversation, moving to a new city, writing that first chapter, learning that new skill. Now ask yourself honestly, what are you actually waiting for? Because if you dig deep enough, past all the logical reasons and practical excuses, you'll find the same thing every single time. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of wasting your time. Fear of discovering that maybe you're not as capable as you hoped. And fear is clever. It doesn't show up wearing a mask. It shows up dressed as wisdom. It says things like, "I just need a little more time." It says, "I'll start when the kids are older." It says, "I'll launch the business when I have more savings." It says, "I'll pursue my passion when life settles down." Fear is the world's greatest procrastinator, and it has been stealing years from people who deserved so much more. Here is the truth that will change everything if you let it sink in. Clarity comes from action, not from thinking. Read that again. Clarity comes from action, not from thinking. You do not figure out the path by standing at the beginning, staring at the road. You figure it out by walking. Every step you take gives you information that no amount of planning ever could. Every mistake teaches you something a course never would. Every stumble builds a muscle that comfort never reaches. Think about the greatest people you admire. The entrepreneurs, the athletes, the artists, the leaders. Do you think they started when they were fully ready? Do you think Oprah Winfrey felt completely prepared when she launched her first show? Do you think Elon Musk had all the answers when he started SpaceX? Do you think J.K. Rowling felt confident when she wrote the first pages of Harry Potter, broke, on welfare, raising a child alone? None of them were ready. Not even close. But they started anyway. And starting, that single act of beginning, is what separated them from the millions of people with equal talent who chose to wait. There is a version of you that exists 5 years from now. And right now, tonight, that version of you is either grateful or full of regret. The grateful version looks back and says, "I'm so glad I started when I did. I'm so glad I didn't let fear win. I'm so glad I took that imperfect first step, because everything I have now grew from that moment." The regretful version looks back and says, "I wish I had just started. I was so close. I had everything I needed, but I kept waiting, and the years just slipped away." Which version do you want to be? Because the decision gets made right now. Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Not when you finally feel confident. Right now, in this moment, you are choosing which future you walk into. Here is something powerful to understand about momentum. The hardest part of any journey is not the middle. It is not even the hard days when you want to quit. The hardest part is always the beginning. It is that first step into the unknown. It is hitting publish before you feel proud of it. It is sending the email before you feel qualified. It is showing up to the gym on day one when you don't know what you're doing. That first step carries the full weight of your fear, your self-doubt, and every story you've told yourself about why you might fail. And it is heavy. Nobody is pretending it isn't. But once you take it, once you actually move, something incredible happens. The fear shrinks. Not because the path gets easier, but because you realize you are stronger than the fear. You realize that action is the antidote to anxiety. You realize that the monster you were afraid of was mostly shadows. And with every step after that first one, you build proof. Proof that you can do hard things. Proof that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Proof that you are someone who starts. I want you to think about a seed. When a seed is planted in the ground, it does not wait until conditions are perfect to begin growing. It does not wait for the ideal temperature, the perfect rainfall, the richest soil. It pushes upward with whatever it has, in whatever environment it finds itself in. And sometimes it breaks through concrete. Sometimes it grows in the harshest, driest, most impossible conditions. Because the drive to grow, to become what it was meant to be, is stronger than every obstacle around it. You are that seed, and you have been sitting in the dark long enough. It is time to push upward. It is time to grow through whatever is in your way. The doubts, the criticism, the uncertainty, the imperfect circumstances. You do not need better conditions. You need to begin. So here is your challenge. Not next week, not after the holidays, not when you finish the next chapter of your life. Today. Before this video ends, I want you to take one small action towards something you've been putting off. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. Buy the domain. Write the first paragraph. Send the application. Make the call. Post the first video. Sign up for the class. One small, imperfect, terrifying, beautiful step. Because the life you want is not waiting for you to be ready. It is waiting for you to begin. And the version of you that your family is proud of, that your younger self dreamed of, that the world is waiting for. That version doesn't emerge from waiting. It emerges from doing, from failing, from learning, from getting back up and trying again, from showing up before you feel qualified and staying until you become it. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So stop waiting. The world needs what only you can give it. And it needs it now. Imperfect, unpolished, and absolutely, undeniably, you.